Hello everybody and welcome to today's demo video. Today we are showing you how to do event frame analytics and statistics within PyVision. For this demo we are going to use three specific custom symbols. We use the Event Analytics Chart Plus, the Event Analytics Py Plus, as well as the Event Filter Plus. Before we get started, we want to set up our event frames. In our example, you've got a couple of downtime event frames over here, and they have different attributes like reason, production line, certain priorities, loss amounts, causes, sub-causes, and impact. And these are the specific attributes that we want to focus our future event frame dashboard on. So before we get started, we use the icon for the Event Analytics Chart Plus, and then we select all of our attributes for our downtime event frames and then drag it onto the display. Initially, the chart will be empty, so what we want to do is right-click Search Criteria and define our search criteria. So now we're going to select all of them, and then as the type we're going to select our downtime and then click Apply. After all the event frames are loaded, the chart will use the very first attribute, in our case the classification, for its values. So we do right click, configure event analytics chart, and now we are presented with a couple of different options. So the way to set up the charts for event frames and also the analytics part of it is to use the dimension configuration. There are three different dimensions for that. The values, which are actually the numbers for the y-axis, the arguments, which are the values for the x-axis, and then the series, which define the different legend items or the colors. So for example, for the values, what we want to do with our downtimes, we want to calculate the total loss, for example. So we would choose our loss value over here, and instead of count, we don't want to count like the individual items, but we want to do like a sum of all the loss values. So now what we have is here a total count of our loss, depending on if it's a planned or unplanned downtime. Now we want to group our losses by root cause, for example. So what we do is we go to the arguments section, and instead of the classification here we select root cause, and then immediately we see, instead of the planned unplanned, we see our different root causes for our downtimes plotted here. There's a couple of different options I can do, for example like top calculations. So I can do like, you know, give me the top 5 or top 4 root causes for my event frames, and then again choose how you would like to sort it, but for now we are going to leave it that way. And then again we can use any attribute for arguments. So instead of grouping by root cause, for example, I could do group by priority. I could even do by like asset, like production line, so I can see which equipment or which production line is causing the most of our downtimes or the most of our losses. Now we're using the production line, and if I want more detailed information, I can also enable the series. The series, as I said before, are the colors or the legend items. So for example, I want each of those bars to be then again split up into different root causes. So I would add a new series and select the root cause, and now I get for all my production lines the different losses depending on the root cause, and I want them to be stacked so it looks a little nicer, so I can do that. And now we have the same chart as before, but now we see them also grouped by root cause, so I can actually see my production lines and which of these are causing the most downtimes. And this is the general configuration as far as the dimension goes. I can also do summary calculations. I can do like counts of different, events that I have. There's a couple of other configuration options I can do, like basic chart options, like data labels, titles, X and Y axis configuration. I can choose how I would like to color my bars. And there's also an interactivity section that allows me to do drill downs. So what I can do with that is I can, for example, instead of having that as a series, I can remove that series over here and add it to the arguments. So now, for example, we have for each line and root cause a separate bar, but I want to enable drill down for that, so I can go to drill down and then set it to argument, because now we have two arguments, and what this does is it will show me just the first one, and when I click on any of those, it's going to drill down on that specific line. So I get an overview of all the downtime events, but I can then just click on any of those, and it's going to give me detailed information about those downtimes and the amount of losses that we had. On a similar note, we have the Event Analytics Pi. So as far as the configuration goes, it's fairly similar. First, what we want to do is, once again, adjust our search criteria, go for downtime, and once the event frames are loaded, we can see the pie chart. And again, we go to the configuration, and we have the same options for values, arguments, and series as before, but this time it's a little different. The values once again use the actual values, so I can do once again loss and then sum calculation to get summary of all the losses. The arguments in this example represent the colors or the individual items. So instead of the classification, what I want to do is again use root cause, and now I can see my losses depending on the root cause. And once again, if I want to split it up by line, I can create multiple pie charts by adding a new series. So I can do add series and then select, for example, the production line over here. And what we see now is one pie chart for each production line, where the total losses are then grouped by my actual root causes. And we have the same configuration option as for the other chart as well, with regards to coloring, titling options, interactivity, drill down ability as well. But now, what if we want to build interactive dashboards? This is where we want to use our event filter control. Essentially, it works fairly similar. So what I can do is select the event filter here and then pull in all my attributes. And then I'm immediately need to change the search criteria again. Change that. Select my type. And then I can once again use this as a filter for all my other event symbols. So for example, if I change that to root cause, I'm immediately presented with the root causes of my event frames. And once I click any of those and select it, it will filter tables, all the charts that use event frames, and update those accordingly. So I can filter by every property essentially that I have. So I can also filter by production line or anything else, and it would live update those. And now I have like an interactive dashboard that I can build with those three symbols.